Today we are once again looking at Amandeaux, a Master 5 Kiriko. They requested this review directly on my Google form, where they wrote, I believe I had a decent game overall, but there were definitely moments where I could have made better decisions. Towards the end, some mistakes were made due to communication issues. For example, our Genji called for healing, and I immediately stopped what I was doing to try to heal him, which left me vulnerable in the middle of the point. Right after that, coming out of spawn, our Zarya asked me to take damage so she could gain energy, but I failed to notice that she didn't have line of sight on me yet. I would appreciate your feedback on my decision making and positioning throughout the game. Thank you. Yeah, I'll pay attention to your decision making, positioning. Particularly, I want to pay attention to things like Suzu usage, of course. That's always important. And yeah, we'll pay attention to those two scenarios you brought up. So let's get right into it. First thing we always want to do is take a look at our team comp. So we got Roadhog, Cass Echo, Kiriko Mercy. So I think, Mercy's going to be working with Echo. You could be thinking about, maybe taking angles with your Cass. You could pocket Roadhog, depending on, what the enemy team has. If they have a lot of things that could suppress Hog, like an Ana, etc., that could be a good play. Or, you could take your own angles, just making sure you can see them and heal them as necessary, or at the very least, swift step to them. Those are the type of things you can think about for general working with this comp. Let's see how it goes. Like one thing, we don't know this yet, but we see they have a Junker Queen. I want to see if you're, Suzuing her ults. Yeah, I gotta make a decision as to where to go. It's fine. Yeah, our Echo dies. But, yep, I do like how you help your Mercy. That's really good. You gotta be a little careful. You're close to the Junker Queen. One thing you can think about is maybe, if you find yourself a little close. I think she came around the corner, kind of surprised you, but you could always think about, wall climbing up, coming back down as necessary, just so you avoid, close quarters damage like that, and you don't have to expend your cooldowns to keep yourself safe. But it's fine. Other thing too, like, they got a Tracer on their team. I want to see how you're handling that, Kiriko isn't quite as oppressive as Tracer as she used to be. But if you land 2 headshots, you can still 2-tap her. So you definitely want her. You want to be keeping her in check. Even 1 headshot can make her back off. Nice try. Try to take an angle to duel her if you can. Yeah, like see, she's already got her pulse bomb. So what you're doing isn't bad. I definitely want to see you just pay attention to her a little bit more, but I think we're going to win this fight because, we killed the Junker Queen. That was good, too. Yeah. Nice. So we are pretty close to our ult. I want you thinking about, like, just getting an angle to poke. Or this is good, too. You hear the Tracer audio. You go after her, like, especially, you see your Hogs out there. You and Cass should both be trying to, like, just take an angle where you can stay safe, but, still help him out. Especially you, because, we want to try to farm this Kitsune and potentially have it for this coming fight. Like, here right now, you're kind of a little unsure what to do. I would be thinking about, just following where your Cass is and just trying to get some damage out. Plat and such, it's not a big deal, but, like, Master games where you are Master GM, that is really going to make a difference. You hear the Tracer. So yeah, we hear the audio of the Tracer. Honestly, what I would be thinking about doing is just wall climbing up here and taking the duel. Because you don't want Tracer, walking around, messing around with your team or you. You want to keep her in check, like we were saying. Like, don't be scared of, don't be scared of enemy Tracers. You are not the prey with them. You are the predator.
I've got you. Got it.
Like, I get it. You're trying to help your Hog. But yeah, we were kind of exposed out in the open, moving around. I think, honestly, if we had come up here, and we dueled the Tracer, and even if the Tracer wasn't here, you can always think about taking high ground where you could get clear vision of where the enemy team's coming from. You could take angles. You could still, like, get your Suzus, get your healing out. You know, even if you're by yourself, high ground could be very, very effective as Kiriko. You have no damage fall off, so it's not like you have to play super close.
I don't give up that easily. Under my protection.
I'd be a little careful about, you know, swift stepping where you don't necessarily know where the enemy team is. You're a little exposed here. It's not terrible, but like we didn't know this in the moment. Just be really careful about like swift stepping forward into where fights are going to take place. If your hog pushes too far without his team, that is not your fault. Good Suzu. Yeah, Tracer's messing with her team. We definitely wanna go after her a little bit more. Yeah, so she was kind of just running around doing her thing. You know, we didn't pay attention to her. Like, I think she just whizzed right by you at one point. I just want to see. So that makes sense. You know, you're obviously Suzuing your hog. But, like, you know, she's going around here, messing with your cast, you know. Let your Roadhog, you know, you kept your Roadhog safe. He's got the Mercy Beam. I would be thinking about turning and just, you see this Tracer here? You want to punish her. You want to make sure, you know, she's not messing with you or your team. Yeah, we needed to focus on the Tracer sooner, because then we might have been able to keep Cass alive and prevent that. And now you're paying attention to the Tracer. She's still here, and you've moved up, and you're exposed, and you died to the Sojourn. So yeah, I think the target focus there, you know, kind of hurt us. So if there's no reason as Kiriko that a Tracer should ever be like in your backline messing with your team. I want to see you just go after her and punish her. Same thing with Sombra too. I'm putting a lot of time into Sombra right now. And if like a Kiriko turns and focuses me, I usually have to back off.
That was interesting.
Yeah, same thing. Be a little bit careful about where you swift step to. You know, you were a little exposed. It wasn't terrible, but you didn't necessarily know that in the moment. Nice. Yeah, you can farm some damage out here. Yeah, Sojourn's going after you. Okay, don't be so scared. Take the duel. See, you land one headshot. She kind of backs off a little bit. Yeah, so let's back that up a little bit. So she's going after you. Honestly, like, I mean, I think it's good that you're staying safe, but you could have been firing Kunai back a little bit sooner, in my opinion, instead of, you know, you're turning around, kind of fleeing, which it's good that you grab the health pack, but I'd like to see you kind of, you know, turn and also be like, as you back up, trying to fire back, you know, crouch strafe, use cover. You do land a good headshot there. Yeah, she, you know, she gets low, she lives a little bit too long, and, you know, Kiriko comes to help her and you die. Yeah, don't be so afraid of those duels. If somebody, like if a DPS wants to push up on you and force you into a duel, don't be afraid, take the duel. You do a lot of DPS as Kiriko. Obviously, you got to be a lot more careful of it, like a Sojourn than you do a Tracer. Yeah, that goes for most supports, is BAP, is Ana. If someone pushes up to you, if they force you into a duel, take it.
This ends now.
Yeah, I like taking that angle to work on to focus the Sojourn. Good Suzu again. I like so far, yeah, good job on the Tracer too, but yeah, I like how you've had your Suzu for these Junker Queen ults. Very good. We should win this round. Yeah, nice.
Score 0-1. Ready.
Yeah, I'd like to see, I mean, I'd like to see it be a little bit more willing to take duels, especially with the Tracer, but other than that, I mean,
What's the most
solid so
crazy
far.
thing you've seen as a doctor?
Well, there was one pilot who was lost in time.
Right. That was
3, 2, 1.
3 times the charm.
We have a quick chat to set. Let's keep it up.
Be careful.
Okay, so here, you know, your team is all kind of pushing the same way. You could really only kind of see the Orisa, especially early on in the fight. You could think about like taking an angle here. Maybe, you know, it's a little risky, but maybe you can like get like a sneaky headshot or something on the soldier and get her to back off. And but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see you just look for opportunities elsewhere instead of pushing like just with your team, especially, you know, the Mercies right here. It's better to take off angles and make sure that your team is applying pressure from multiple angles instead of all pushing the same way. Like, see right now, like Sojourn controls that angle over there.
They're taking the objective. Under my protection.
Oh, we missed the Suzu, but it was the right idea.
Team kill.
Yeah, you know, maybe if we had been applying more pressure from those other angles, we might have been able to, you know, pressure them, make them back off, you know, before they took that space.
Okay, I learned from that.
Or I should say, before they really controlled that space.
Be healed. Infused with light. What's up?
Hog's going really far. Once again, be careful about swift stepping into him. Okay, let's back that up here. So we talked about the swift step. So now what are we trying to do here? You know, we got to think about a target. Is Orisa somebody you should be targeting? You know, not really. Because it's like, you know, we said that you're the predator. Orisa is like Chris Hansen. You kind of want to avoid her, and you know, because you focus her, you get punished for it. You know, we could be thinking about, you know, rotating back here, taking like an angle on the supports, pressure them, maybe cut off Orisa's healing. We could have even been like, you know, maybe wall climb up here, gone after like the Tracer or something. Couple things you could have done, but I think either one of those would have been better than what you're doing here with, you know, you go after the Orisa. You're trying to heal your Mercy, but you're still very exposed. Fortunately, she misses the Javelin, but you're taking tons of damage. And yeah, your little chip damage on Orisa's doing nothing, and yeah, you die. So yeah, I would be thinking about either, you know, rotating to their back line or rotating up here and trying to help your team.
Getting drowsy.
I don't think you or Hog were particularly doing the right things there. And like, that's another thing too. You gotta recognize, like if your Hog's off on his own, like trying to duel the Orisa by himself, that's kind of on him. But we do get a Zarya now, so yeah, punish this Tracer. Yeah, this is fine. Just be on the lookout. Once again, you could think about like wall climbing up here if you can, or you know, trying to get like an angle or something on the enemy supports. You know, you could still see Zarya while being a little bit less exposed. Like, this is just kind of restrictive positioning. You could really only focus on the Orisa. It's kind of a passive Kiriko playstyle. Right now, at least. Like, this is better. You know, you're going after the Ana, but, like, our Mercy died. It's a little too late at this point. Yeah, so I think I noticed the big thing there was you kind of followed your tank a little bit too much, in my opinion. You know, sometimes you got to recognize like whether or not they're making good decisions or like what they can really accomplish from what they're doing. And even then, you could still, like, if you were taking those high grounds, if you were, you know, trying to get better vision and scout where the enemies were, you probably would have had more opportunities to, you know, do damage, maybe get some kills, while still keeping your tank safe as well. But yeah, let's see how this third round goes.
It's contemplative.
All right, so we got a Sigma now and a Junkrat. Be a little careful. Okay, so you know, your Mercy's right here. You know, Sigma, if he's using his abilities right, he's not going to need a ton of healing. He's going to be mitigating lots of damage, generating shields for himself. So I don't think you necessarily need to be playing here with him, you know? You could go on a fun little excursion with your Junkrat, you know? He just killed the Tracer. You could focus people with him. Or even, like, just trying to, like, take angles and, like, you know, walk where you could get, like, deeper vision of their backline as they come out or something. Those are the things I'd be thinking about doing. Little inactive. I think you were looking out for the Tracer, but even so, it probably would have been better to like just play like this corner right here, you know, spam these guys as they're pushing in on like your Ashe or such, or even like moving up here, trying to get some damage on their supports, cut off their back line. Those are the type of things you can think about. Punish this Tracer. See that? You land one headshot and you force recall out of her. That's what I'm talking about right there. And then she dies. But this is a little dangerous. You know, you just swift step right on the point. Yeah, so just once again, be careful about the swift steps. We talked about it earlier. You know, you didn't really get punished for it before. Now we see, you know, you swift step right on point where you were very exposed. You had nowhere to go, no way to defend yourself. And yeah, you died for it. You get the res though. Yeah, don't worry about the Orisa. I want to see you take like an angle, go for the Tracer, go for the Kiriko, even like go after the Ana right here. That's really what I want to see you doing. It's like, see, you know, you and Sigma are working to get her low, but because of the support she's getting, it's just, you know, it's not quite enough to kill her between that and her own, you know, natural tanking abilities. So we definitely gotta cut that off, you know, fire at the Ana, fire at her teammates instead. And take an angle where we can do it. Like, that's better right there. See that? So this is something, you know, I do this too all the time because, you know, I didn't really come from an FPS background, but you're kind of moving in straight lines, especially, you know, when you see the Sojourn there, you know, you start taking a little bit of damage. Think about not moving straight. Think about, you know, crouching, strafing a little bit. You know, she did kill you fast, so it's tough, but just a general thing you want to think about. You don't want to line up those shots for her.
Let the Kitsune guide you. This ends now.
You could swift step to your Sojourn here. Because like she's dueling the Tracer, Ana's coming over here, so you know you can make it kind of a 2v2, and you know, turn that into, you know, like she dies there. So let's back it up. Trying to think about Yeah, your Junkrat kind of dies a little fast. I don't think you could have done anything about that, but good kill on the Orisa. You were able to finish her off there. You could maybe even think about, you know, this isn't very good positioning as far as like getting opportunity, you know, getting angles on the enemies. You could even think about like swift stepping to your Sojourn right there and just, you know, just getting better vision where you can, you know, maybe focus down these guys with her, maybe come up here, focus on the Ana, and you definitely would be in a better position to help the Tracer as well. You know, she probably wouldn't be pushing up on your Sojourn the way she did.
I licked my wounds. Let's go.
Okay, so we're going for an angle. Okay, so let's back that up. So you're going for it. You're going for a sneaky angle to try to do some DPS, which I like. But let's talk about where it goes wrong. So, you know, you swift step right into it, which is a little risky because you want to save your swift step to escape. But the other thing we got to think about is what is our escape if we get pressured here. This is something you always got to think about as flankers. Like, I'm playing a lot of Sombra, like I said. I'm really having to think about this as far as like just planning ahead of time. If these guys turn around and start focusing me together, where am I going to go? You know, you're not like Sombra where you can just throw your translocator wherever. You depend on having teammates around you with swift step. And, you know, Ball right here, Ball is not a reliable person to swift step to because of how mobile he is. And we see that because what happens is you start going for the Kiriko, then they turn and focus you. We don't quite have our swift step yet, which we already went over that, but yeah, even if we did have it, I mean, excuse me, I'm still a little sick, but I was saying, even if we did have it, you know, maybe we could have gone to Genji or something, but I'm not sure if you had that escape planned out quite ahead of time. So yeah, make sure you have your swift step ability to escape, and make sure you just kind of have a general idea of where you're gonna go and who you're gonna swift step to when you try to pull this off. Otherwise, I like the idea though. That's what you should be doing as Kiriko.
I'm on my game now. Thank you. I'm ready to go there. Take cover.
Draw strength from nature.
Much better. Breaking them down.
Pressure the Tracer. I don't hate that. You definitely want to try to find an angle to put some pressure on the squishies, though.
Hey.
Okay, we're chasing the Tracer here. You're going to heal Genji, and okay, so this is what you were talking about in your comments. So let's back that up. So we're over here. We have control of point. You know, it's 94, and we kind of go off over here to chase the Tracer. So why are we going out of our way to go after the Tracer here? I know we talked about being the predator, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know you have to go after her. You can kind of hang back, you know, maybe play around where your Sojourn is, play like around, you know, where Tracer is going to go, and then, you know, punish her when she pushes up on you guys. You know, especially you guys have point. It's not like you need to be super aggressive. The burden is on the enemy team to come to you. So wait for them to commit, and, you know, you could try to punish them a little bit instead of, you know, trying to chase kills like this. Because what happens is, you know, you said Genji asked for healing. you just immediately swift step right in the middle of point. And what happens is,
This ends.
like, look at that.
now.
You die well before he does.
This ends now.
And even if he was about to die, I would rather him die than you die. Yeah, as Kiriko, your life is a little bit more valuable than your DPS's in general.
Zarya, ready for duty.
Okay, so, oh, this is what you were talking about with the Zarya bubble, so let's back that up.
Area denial.
Okay, so you're taking some damage. Where's your team here? You know, your Zarya is still way back here. It looks like you kind of just, move forward without looking back. So, it's a dangerous strategy in general for you to, move forward so Zarya can bubble you. But if you guys are going to do that, as Kiriko, I need you to stop thinking like a support for a second and start thinking like a tank. Whereas, you got to move a little slower. You got to constantly just be turning back, seeing where your team is, move, turn back, make sure that Zarya is in a position, to bubble you when you come out here. And then, you can back off, you could swift step as need be. So yeah, I mean, if you don't play tank, I kind of understand, but that's generally, that's, if you've watched, I've only done a handful of tank VODs, but that's the number one thing I talk about. Play slow, always turn back, see where your team is. If you're going to frontline like that, that's what you need to do. Yeah, we get punished there.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Good job using the Kitsune.
I'm unstoppable.
Try not to focus on the Orisa. Nice. So it's like we said, Tracer is pushing up on you. You took the duel. You stayed back here because you were taking some damage. You stayed safe, but Tracer pushed into you and you punished her. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. You try to take an angle for the Ana. Exactly.
Carried on the wind.
See, we get her to back off. She's not contributing. And we win the game. Yeah, nice job. Yeah, I always say to send me losses, but games like this, where it was a very close win, I mean, obviously, we see a ton of stuff that, we see some stuff you could work on. But yeah, good job overall. I definitely want you to just be a little bit more willing to take duels. I want you to try to utilize a little bit more high ground. Try to think of the angles and the opportunities that you have. You don't always need to just play linearly, focus on helping your tank. You could try to crab walk, move off to try to, get deep vision of the backline or other DPS that you can duel. But yeah, good job. Let me know if you have any questions. If anyone would like to request a VOD review, check the link in the description, and best of luck with your climb.